Bad boys. What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? You're too bad. You're too rude. You're too bad. You're too rude. Yeah. Bad boys. Bad boys.
Hello. That's how excited I am. That's how excited I am for today's session. I don't know about you, but we are live on YouTube, live on Facebook, and it's been an awesome week so far. Like it's a whole journey that we've been going through and all of that. And if you're joining us today, we are talking about sustainable career development. It's our back to school program with Paveway Technologies. And I'm your host, V. Arambang Alen. I've been with you since Monday, having speakers from the king himself, Pierre Mabris. Though we had challenges with Facebook platform, so he wasn't able to come live. Like I said, we're going to look for a time so that we can have we could interview him offline, so you guys can get to talk to him. And from then on, we went on Tuesday that we had to talk about, or we had a conversation with Zonda, and Zonda also was not able to come, but I was able to sit in with him and I poured out a lot of information because he was to talk about bootstrapping, right? How you can bootstrap your career as a professional. You know, starting a new career is not something that is easy, but how do you go about it? So I went on and I spoke about the advantages of bootstrapping, because hey, bootstrapping has advantages, because bootstrapping is all the idea that I sponsor myself for my career. So first advantage is that you have full control of what you want to do. Like I said, he who blows the piper dictates the tune. Now, if you are bootstrapping your career, it means that you're not requesting personal funds from anybody, just your own funds. And because of that, you have full control of what you want to do. So from Zonda, we went to Wednesday and we had an awesome session about career planning with Mr. Joybert, who gave us insightful details and information. And he spoke about, like, one of the things he said was 20 years back, with any kind of certification, you would be able to get any kind of job that you want. But this is the dispensation, or this is a century of value creation, value expression, and value monetization. So he spoke about that. And on Thursday, we had to talk about mental health with Mr. Tamanjong Armstrong, and it was amazing. And yesterday, we spoke with the speaker was Felix Fomeja, and he talked about building sustainable cities with the skills that you already have, or with the skills that you can develop. And today is Saturday. We have two sessions today, starting first with Jay Loaded. Jay Loaded, the man from Tonkoro. Sorry for that. So we will be having the king, the chief, the Ofo, the Sisiku of Tonkoron Palace. He's already in the room. He's waiting to vomit the things that the gods are in him. I know he has made some sacrifices already, you know, to be able to talk to us from Tonkoron. And it's an exciting session, and he's not going to talk on anything else rather than consistency. What is the role of consistency in your career? You know, consistency is something that cannot be overemphasized. You know, it's important in every aspect of your life, and your career is not that thing that you would want to like put consistency less. So it has to be important because it's making a commitment to yourself, right? And in trying to reach your goals, no matter the circumstances that you find yourself. And consistency, like he's going to be dealing with, and I just don't want to go on and on to talk a lot. I just want to bring the man from Tonkorong himself. I mean, it's not an easy task to be a king or a chief in Manfi. The man had to be consistent. So he's exactly the product of what he's going to be talking about. So right now, I'm bringing the man from Tonkorong himself, Mr. J. Loaded. Sir, your life. Thank you, sir. Your life. Hello. Can you get me? Your life. Is it your internet? I don't quite get it. Hello. We would love to hear from the chief and the elders of Tonkoro. Okay, he has gone offline. So as we wait for the man from Tonkoro, I just want to start by saying that one of the very first things you have to understand about consistency is your attitude. You know, it's your attitude. Like they say, consistent is key. It doesn't matter how skillful you are, right? Like it's very easy to come up with a plan, but sticking to that plan is always the problem. Sticking to that plan is always a problem. Okay, so we have the man from Tonkoron. He's here. So, sir, can you hear me? Are you ready? I'm bringing you live right now.
I hear you 5 on 5.
Okay, so you're live. So, boom.
Okay.
You're welcome to the live session. You're live already. Thank you.
Oh, okay. I want to find out if you can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you. 5 on 5.
Okay, then that's good. Thank you very much for the 5-star introduction. So today I let me introduce myself. I'm J Loaded, CEO and founder of World Nation, and I feel so honored, Mr. Mbiarambang. Thank you for the privilege to be live to dish out a little from what I know and what had guided and shaped my career thus far, hoping that this would contribute positively to the existing or young entrepreneurs and people who are trying to find career paths to prepare their minds for what they could be getting ready for and how to scale. So my topic is the place of consistency in building a sustainable career. All right, I'll delve right into it. Now, you know, we are living in Africa where the platform is a little different from the Western world. The opportunities that are available to us are a little limited than the ones that exist in the Western world. Most of what we have right now is what we are creating. So listen and listen clearly. If you want to really succeed in to do, you would have to do more than 5 things to be able to succeed. It's not just enough to be one thing, you need to be many other things, right? All right, just crash everything I just said, okay? Because that's the mindset that we were groomed with. We were groomed with the mindset that for you to succeed, you needed to do many things. You need to do this one and do that one and do this one and do this one and do that one. And that thing that has sponsored a lot of failure in Africa. It has sponsored so much failure among young entrepreneurs because of impatience, we cannot start something and see it to the very end. You start a venture, you start a business, and then when the pressures of life come, when poverty and hunger strikes, you are being coerced into abandoning that and just to make ends meet at the time. And with that attitude, without mindset of just trying to get by, with that hustler mindset, anything that works, whatever is going to put food on my table, that's what I'm going to do right now. If selling shoes is what is going to work today, I'm going to sell shoes just to get by. If you have that kind of mentality, you are not the person this webinar is created for, and you are not the person that can commit to this topic that I'm about to talk about. because this topic is a little, it makes you look like you're a fool and you know what you're doing, when in fact you do know what you're doing. Consistency, it's simply put, is just a regular occurring of dependable actions. Like you can do something over and over in a particular sequence. Now, it is very important for every business
Okay, guys, you would just have to be patient and bear and just have to be patient and bear with us. The internet connection might really be a problem or might be an issue. So please, I'm pleading with you to just be patient. Our speaker will soon return to us
to be
in Egypt.
consistent, because the reason why delay gratification in the business you are doing or you're about to venture into, the truth of the matter is that you will not scale, because it takes time to build something sustainable. I would have really loved to tell you that if you can pick up a good career or maybe start doing being a web developer or being into the art field where maybe you're a comedian and music artist, I would have really loved to tell you that you're just going to start off and then you're going to make the first hit and then you're going to be popular and people will know you. You'll be everywhere. You can start off with being a comedian and then people will just know you everywhere and you'll make the big money. But the truth is that it is hardly like that. I tell people that there is always just going to be that one song that you will do that will announce you to the rest of the world. There's just going to be that one project that you will do that will announce you to the rest of the world. But that project would hardly be your first project. It will hardly be your first.
Please, we are still live. The speaker is having challenges with internet connections. I guess that's why we are still
Project.
live.
It's unheard of. I bring that up? I brought that up because over the years we have been consistent in doing this single thing. If you met us in 2016, the same way we talked is the same way we are still talking right now. He is still very much into his web development and his Payfree Technologies, Jack Kalowa, and I am only defined by one thing: Wealth Mission, Laugh Tacos, comedy. And I have not been able to switch. But you know, the normal order of the day will tell you that you can't just be doing one thing. You need to diversify, you need to do a lot of other things. But this is what I'll tell you. We don't need plan Bs, because plan Bs most of the time distract us from our plan A. I told myself that if I'm going to fail, I want to fail doing just this one thing that I've decided to commit my entire life into doing. And if you want a pot to really get hot, you can, no matter how hot the flames are, If you just pass it from one flame to another and pass it from one flame to another, that pot will never be hot. Never. If all you do is pass it from one flame to another, just pass it, after 1 second, you pass it to the next flame, no matter how hot those flames are, that pot will never boil. The water in that pot will never boil because you lack consistency. But somebody who even places that pot over a candle, over time, over a few minutes or a few hours, is going to have the result they want. But because we are deficient in patience and our desire for immediate gratification overrides our patience, we never get to reap the fruit of consistency. Now there's something Bruce Lee said, very, very fundamental to what I'm talking about. He said, I am not afraid of a man that has mastered 1,000 kicks. We all know Bruce Lee. He was a legend. That I am not afraid of a man that has mastered 10,000 kicks, actually. I am afraid of the man that has mastered one kick 10,000 times. That is profound. That is profound. I am not afraid of the man that has mastered 10,000 kicks. I fear the man that has mastered one kick 10,000 times. What does that tell you? That right there is consistency. When you're able to sharpen your art, when you're able to sharpen the very core of what makes your business, why it exists. Within your business, there are a lot of other businesses that you might never see their potentials until you commit yourself to it entirely. For example, I was at one point in my life, I had people who encouraged me to get jobs and do other things. These were well-meaning people, but I came to discover that if I were to pick up jobs and do those things, it was going to make me reduce the time that I was supposed to put in my art and in my craft by at least a drastic reduction of at least 60% of my time. And I needed to give my work 100. And I said, no, I'd rather stick to what I'm doing. And in sticking to my comedy, I discovered that there are other chains of businesses that are within my comedy, within my gifting, within my talent as a comedian. But I never would have been able to see that and exploit them if I did not stay committed to what I've been given to do. The only challenge, the only reason why you're not going to stay consistent in that business that you want to start and drive it to the very end, implement a strategy, drive that strategy till the very end, drive it to the very end, do it for 6 months, for 3 months, or a year. You will not be able to drive it to that level because of impatience. And that is where I would buttress strongly that you be patient with the business you're starting. Be patient with the venture you're getting into. The big brands we see now, the Apples, the Samsungs, the whatever it is that you're admiring now, they have a track record. The Facebook of Mark Zuckerberg, they have a track record of doing these things over and over the years. You are only getting to know about it now because it is at their premium level, but you don't know how to start it. But now you want to start off a business, you want to start off a career, and then immediately you want to be where Mark Zuckerberg is at. You want to be where these other big brands are at. You want to be where Apple is at. You want to be where Samsung is at. You want to be where the big names, or probably what can I say? Or this rich man in Cameroon, in Africa? You want to just be where Dangote is at. No. You have to be patient with yourself and believe in your process. Believe in the uniqueness of the business and what your best is coming to provide to the society. What it is coming to change, the narrative is going to change, and you have to have so much trust in it that you are willing to endure the process to be able to establish that. It's going to take time. I hate to be the one to tell you that you're not going to scale in a year or in 2 years or in 3 years. I would have really loved to tell you that if you just do what you like and you do what you believe in, you're just going to make it. I'd love to tell you that, but the truth of the matter is that it's hardly always like that, because you need a story that authenticates your success. So you need to commit yourself to it. Now, something the Bible says so profound in the book of Genesis 49, verse 4a, when Jacob brought his children together. Yeah, I think that was Isaac. He brought his children together, blessing them and giving them words of blessings. When he got to Reuben, he said, unstable as water, you will not excel. Unstable as water, foamy water, you will not excel. That is just very profound when it has to do with the subject we're dealing with. Unstable as water, you will not excel. So what does that tell you? If you are not consistent at what you're doing, if you're not consistent in the career path you are about to choose, if you're not consistent in the business you are doing, whatever it is that God gives you to do, whatever it is that you find to do, if you're not consistent at doing it, at always showing up, at sticking your entire life to it with the Esther mentality. What is the Esther mentality? I perish, I perish. We all need that. We all need that. So he said, unstable as water, you will not excel. It was not a curse. It was not a curse. He was just telling him the consequence of his character. He is unstable. You cannot depend on him. So what are you known for? What is it that if somebody comes to you, what are they expecting to get? What are your values? Can somebody depend and say that, well, if we come to Payfree Technologies, they are going to be developing apps, or they are going to be developing different kind of appliances, or different kinds of digital solutions to the world. Or maybe tomorrow I come to Payfree Technologies, they are now a football team, like it's a whole football team that they're organizing. And I'm like, what is this? What is happening here? And then I meet him the next year, and it's like, bro, man, I had to leave that football team. Man, we want to do now food. We are now into food. We want to sell food. All this perishable. We want to go to Bamenda. We want to go to food market and buy perishables. I think that is really what is trending. And I'm gonna be like, bro, what is happening here? See, I cannot depend on you. You're not consistent. You see, so you have, because consistency, you need consistency because it informs on your reputation, how your customers view you. It informs on your reputation. Customers want to be able to come to you and they see a track record of successes. They want to be able to look at your archives and they see how you started, what you did in 2016, how you're doing the same thing that you did in 2016, in 2017, but differently. How you're able to do the exact same thing that you were doing in 2017, but now you're doing in 2021 with more innovation. But it's the same thing. They want to be able, you need that for reputation. You see that? But if you do not have that track record of successes, and when I say track record, they don't have to be all successes. No, they don't have to be all successes, because we have to give for growth. And sometimes we want to do this thing and then we don't have the right mentality, the right equipment for it, but we did it anyhow. And then we do not amass success. And then we rise up and see how we can do it differently, but we are doing the same thing. We are doing the same thing. If you call J Loaded, you know what he does. You know that you're definitely going to expect him to talk about Pastor Rufus, to talk as Pastor Rufus. You're either going to expect him to be putting up a laughter show, or you're going to expect him to be doing an interview skit. You know what to expect, or you're expecting him to be a stand-up comedian, or you're expecting him to be an MC. You see, these are different facets of my business that I never would have known if I did not stick to it with the Esther mentality of I perish, I perish. If I did not decide that I was going to do this one thing over and over. Because when you stick to your business, you'll be able to zoom in to see the finer details of your business that can add value to the customer, that can add value to the society. But if all what you want is just to make money and just to get by and just, it all goes back to the poverty mentality. Because if you do not have the poverty mentality, you because the poverty mentality makes you always chasing paper. You're always running after what works. You're always running after whatever whatever is the general trend of the society. Because you feel like if you don't do this, you'll not have food on your table. And that is a sick mentality. That is a reason why we have been fooled into thinking that if only you go to school, study so hard, get good grades, you are going to be rich and successful. So people decide to just keep on being in school, to have PhDs upon PhDs, because they do not want to come out to face life. So they have many degrees because they think that those many degrees will increase their chances of being employed. But that is sick. That is so sick. And that's the reason in the Western world, people are able to go to school and sponsor themselves. They see themselves through school because they have learned to develop skills. But here, sadly, we do not believe in putting yourself through a process, being patient in it, developing it, growing it. I have had to be with people who told me that, well, like when you tell them, what do you do? They ask me, what do you do for a living? I say, I'm a comedian. Yeah. We get that part. Yeah, but I mean, like, what do you do? That is the highest way that I've been disrespected in my craft at my early ages, because I'm like, what else? I just told you what I did. Like, this is it. I'm a comedian. What do you mean by, like, what do you do? Yeah, they are expecting to say that, yeah, but I'm also a teacher, but I'm also a doctor, but I'm also a this, I'm also a that. What is wrong with being a comedian, bro? I just told you what I did. I am a comedian. But you see, because they think that what you're doing, it's a playful thing. Like they don't see the future of it. And because of that, you two are coerced into picking up jobs and doing anything because society does not believe in what you're doing, or maybe society has a pattern of success that you have to follow. Go to school, get good grades, get a good job, and become a well-decorated, average, poor person that always thinks the society owes them. But I'm telling you today, we are so dependent. We are all cursing. We are very angry youths because we feel like somebody owes us. But if you really want to be great and successful at whatever you do, you have to understand that nobody owes you a thing. Not the government and not your parents, not your friends, nobody owes you. When you have that mindset, you will commit yourself to the building of that business. Nobody owes you. And the success of your business is entirely dependent on you. But be consistent. Be consistent. Now, when I started off, I'll use my story. When I started off, when you gave me 10,000 francs to come and speak at your event, man, that was dope, man. I mean, to do comedy, I used to tell people, I mean, do you know that I do comedy for just 5 minutes and I'm paid 10,000 francs? I'm like, you know, this was great. Like, I just spoke for 5 minutes and you gave me 10,000 francs, I go home. And that was so great for me. I would even brag about it. Now, I kept polishing my art and I kept polishing my craft. Every year after year, I've been at it. It's not like I could not do any other thing. I can. I am very intelligent. Matter of fact, I'm so smart. Yeah, I think I'm one of the smartest brains that Africa ever produced. But you can go right ahead. Yeah, you can go right ahead and call me proud. But I think that is humility. I think that's humility. Yeah. You know, humility is the ability to submit yourself to what God has said. And God is saying the exact same thing that I said. I just echoed what God said. I am so great. Yeah. So I could do anything. I could be anything I want to be. I could do anything. I could work in a company. I could manage any business. I could even run this nation. I can and I will. Yeah. But I decided to commit myself to one thing, to be known by one thing, to sharpen this craft and this business so much that it adds value. So that when somebody is calling me, they are calling me because of my years of consistency in doing what I'm doing. They are not paying me for the 5 minutes or 10 minutes I'm going to talk. They are paying me for all my sacrifices and every other thing that I could have been that I refused being, all the bush that I refused to fall, and every other thing that I was supposed to do, and all the pressure that I did not succumb to. I decided to stay on this path and be consistent on this path, doing just this one thing. That is what they are paying for, the value I've been able to create over time. So now I tell people I do not hold the mic for anything less than 200,000 francs, and I am not. It's not like I'm negotiating it. I'm not. If you don't want to pay, it's okay. Yes. If you don't want to pay, it's fine. I'm not poor. I'm not beggarly. Even if I don't have money in my pocket, I'm still not poor. As a matter of fact, don't forget, poverty is a mindset. It's a state of your mind. It's not the absence of required necessity. Poverty is a mindset. It's not the absence of required necessity. It's a mindset. When you have the mindset of a poor person, anything that comes, you just jump into it because you want to make ends meet, and you never create value. Now, I MC weddings at 500,000 francs. Now, I tell people that, okay, you see, if you want me to do comedy for 10 or 20 minutes, you have to pay me 200,000 francs. And to be honest, they don't argue again, because my value is there. Just imagine that I did not stick myself to what I am doing. I did not commit myself to what I'm doing it over and over. I would never get to this place. And I'm not even where I'm supposed to be. But I am not where I used to be. You see that? I remember in 2018 when the City of People Technologies, Mr. Allen and another brother, Israel Penn, sat me together to educate me on being present on social media. Now, these were aspects of my career that I didn't even know about. These were aspects of my field, my business that I did not even tap into. Because probably I was still being distracted by the fact that I wasn't getting the big gigs or the big stuff. But when I came to now sit down under that tutelage, they taught me how to hone social media to make the best out of it. So I started putting out skits. I actually did not have a unique brand of skit, as it were. Anything that seemed funny, I just did it. And I put it out there. And it wasn't really getting the traction, but I was there. And now, subsequently, as the years went by, doing the exact same thing over and over, the Bible says that, the Bible puts it this way: after ye have suffered a while, I will establish you. So sometimes I tell people that if you start off and you don't have a unique thing, like you don't have a unique thing that identifies you, don't be under pressure. Just do what you like doing. Just keep doing it. Just keep doing it. In the fullness of time, in due season, you are going to find that particular niche that you are supposed to feed, or that particular value that you were created to add to the society. And over time, I have been able to identify the brand of content creation, because there's a big difference between being a stand-up comedian and being a content creator and being an MC and being an event organizer. Those are different skill sets that I never would have known or never would have been tapping and enjoying from if I did not stick my whole life into doing just this one thing. And now, all of these things are springing forth. So I moved from having 5 views, 20 views, 100 views. And then when I had my first 1,000 views in 2019, I was so happy. I'm like, man, this is it. And I was grateful to them. I'm like, I thank them, man. Thank you guys for teaching me this thing. And it's working. And now, this is 2021. Last year, my highest views on my page was 7,000 views. And it was the hit. Like, it made me so popular. And then this year, in 2 weeks, I'm able to make up to about 60,000 views on my page in 2 weeks. All right. I thought this is where somebody would clap. All right, cool. Nobody's clapping, but it's fine. What am I saying? Consistency. This is not the greatest I could be, but this is way better than what I was. At the level of shows, at the level of organizing shows, we started off shows making them free. These shows were so free, everybody could just come. And then we decided to start putting a fee to it, because now value is being created. Value is being created. So we want to see how many people value what we do. It's not just because of the money. We want to estimate, because consistency gives room for value measurement. You'll be able to measure your value and measure your growth when you are consistent. But when you're not consistent, that becomes automatically impossible. What are you measuring? There's nothing to measure. So We moved from creating free shows, and yes, we can still do free shows for other purposes. And now at the commercial level, at the corporate level, we decided to start putting a fee to these shows. And then we started 1,000 francs in 2018, August, August 2nd, June 2nd, sorry, at Hotel Sinclair. We had a handful of people, and then we moved to other venues. And then we had a handful of people. We incurred some debts. Yeah, consistency comes with a lot of pain. That is why you need discipline to be consistent. Yeah, we incurred some debt. In 2019, we did it, and then there were no debts. The hall was not full, but we were good. We did not incur debt. So the next day, I called my team, called Alan, Siona, Penn. We went to Hotel Sinclair. I remember that day. We had a cool bath, and we were so happy because for the first time, we just completed a show and there were no debts. So we had peace of mind. There was no depression to deal with after that, unlike the other years. So we had a cool bath, we ate some apples, and we gave God glory for it. We had made progress. We just broke even. And then in 2020, we filled up Mountain Hotel. Yeah, we totally did. And then we had more than just swimming pool to handle. There were some papers. I could even pay my team members. Like I could give them envelopes, and everybody that was on the show was paid. And then I could buy a thing or two for myself, and I felt like I was living the African dream. Yeah, actually. And this year we are looking forward to something even bigger because you can see a track record of consistency. We did it. I remember in 2018 was that. Yeah, we wanted to include an aspect of maybe having motivational speakers talk during the comedy session. And some people thought it was not a good idea. I remember Alan saying that, well, we are just trying to do something different. If we try it and it doesn't work, we'll trash it out, but let's just do it. That is the spirit. We tried it and we found out that, well, it was good, but nah, this is not what we need. So we kept it aside. And we decided to do other things. Consistency. Now, we should take me to the next thing. You see, they always tell us that you strike the iron when it is hot. But in Africa, Cameroon context, there is no hot iron. Yes, there's no hot iron. So you have to learn the art of striking the iron until it gets hot. You have to learn that art. You need to learn it and commit yourself to your business. You would never be anything in life. You never amount to anything. Take it from me. If you are not consistent. If you're not consistent, if you have all these backup plans, if comedy doesn't work, if this one doesn't work, if web development doesn't work, if the digital marketing doesn't work, if this one don't work, if that one don't work, I'll fall on this or fall on that or fall on this or fall on that. You would never be anything. Take it from me. You just live the average life. And an average man is a well-decorated poor man who would be living from hand to mouth. And that right there is poverty at its peak. You don't want that. We want to raise giants in Africa. We want to raise giants in Cameroon. People who are not dependent on anybody or the government, who are not accusing the government for stuff. We should be able to build a mentality that is so strong that we think we owe the government loans from time to time. Yeah, they are struggling. They are struggling. We should be able to come together as organizations, as people, and loan some money to the government. Now, if I want to talk as Pastor Rufus, we want to help you. We want to help you. Let us see how we can move the nation forward. We know you're struggling. Yeah, we know you're struggling. So me and my billionaire friends, we've decided to give you a token of 14.2 billion just to see how we can restructure the nation. Yes, we should think like that and not have this victim mentality that we are being owed something. In as much as the leaders have failed on their part, but we will not join them in the failure. we need to create a new path for ourselves. So find that thing that you know you can do. Your business, a business idea can never be difficult for you to find. You are definitely going to find it. And I'm sure that the other speakers, we had really legendary people speak before me, the likes of Javni Joybird. I mean, like, we had the best people talk to us, the Zonda Forting, a lot of other people, Felix Fomenja, and others that I probably can't mention, but then I believe that they've taught us a lot about our career. My own is consistency, because I know the temptations that come to seduce you from being consistent. And I know very well that if you are not going to be consistent at that business you are about to start, if you are not going to be consistent at that thing, that venture, or that new business idea you're about to execute, or that plan, that strategy that you're about to implement to take your already existing business to another level, if you are not going to be consistent at doing whatever it is that you commit your heart into doing, you will not excel. It's inside the Bible. Go and check your Bible. Genesis 49, verse 4a. You can leave the B part. Just focus on the A. See, as unstable as water, you will not excel. Be consistent. Be consistent. Do not learn. So how then can you be consistent? One, learn to delay gratification. Learn to delay gratification. We want it now. Most of the people you admire, most of the people you want to be like are not your age mates. Please take it easy on yourself. Take it easy on yourself. Be calming down. Yes, take it easy on yourself. You want to be a Dangote. Everybody wants to be a Dangote. Everybody wants to be a Mark Zuckerberg. But be honest with yourself. He's not your age mate. It's true now. Yes, it's true. He's not your age mate. And he did not start doing what he's doing. Facebook did not start last year. It did not start last year. So learn to be patient. That will be the next thing. It's all part of the delayed gratification. Be patient with your business. It's a baby. See your business as a baby that needs to be groomed. The point is that in Africa, Cameroon, we don't have a culture that sponsors innovations, where somebody can get up and say, I want to be a footballer. And the parents believe. And from a child, they start training that child to become that thing. I want to be a music artist. And from childhood, the parents start taking them to maybe cabaret in the secular context, taking them for music concerts, taking them to studios, handing them to mentors, buying them guitars, trying to find out what genre of music they'll be good at. We don't have that culture. Our culture is a poverty culture. Go to school, do well, put head for book, have good grades. Maybe by some chance, a company will see you and employ you. And so we all went to university. We read our brains out. We were fervent in reading. We crammed everything there was to cram. And then when we were done, there was no place found for us. And so we started blaming the government. Yeah, because our mentality is wrong. It's so wrong. It's so wrong. It's so wrong. And we need to change that. We need to change that. You need to be able, some of us, even the things we study in school sometimes, they are of no consequence. They are of no value to society. Now, I don't mean to insult you, but then come on, you're studying history. Are we making progress or we are going backwards? You studying history, it's good to know a healthy amount of history, but come on, bro. Would you really blame the government if you're done and you can't be anything apart from a teacher? You can't. I'm not trying to talk down on those who studied those courses, but I'm saying that whatever you do in university is almost inconsequential. It does not stop you from starting up a business. It does not stop you from trying to add value, looking for a problem in society and trying to solve it. I believe that your talent is not to memorize dates and keep records of those who mistreated us. No, your talent is bigger than that. I believe that there is something within. I believe that there is a business idea lurking inside of you. I believe that there's a special skill and ability inside of you, and that is what I'm talking about. You bring it out, and when you bring it out, be patient with it. See it as a child, see it as a baby that you need to watch it grow from the creeping stage where you need to give it everything. Sometimes you will need to feed that baby and watch it grow, stumble, take baby steps and fall, but encourage it, encourage the baby, keep feeding that baby. Yeah, keep feeding that baby. At the beginning, if your business idea came when you were already in a job or doing something that gave you money, don't quit. Do not quit. Don't do that. Don't quit. Don't quit. Don't quit just yet. Don't quit. You would only quit if and when this other thing that you're doing is now beginning to distract you from the increasing demands of this new business you're about to start. That's a whole topic on its own. I will not delve into that. But what I'm saying is this: you have a business idea, you should be able to commit to it. Do it over and over. As I begin to round up, let me remind you of the key points that would guide your consistency. You would never be able to amount to anything if you are not consistent. All the businesses that you see, the big names and the big brands you see, go and do their history. Don't just be fascinated by what they are now. They committed themselves to something. Every great person had committed themselves to one thing, and that one thing defined them. That's why they are your role models. You want your business to become a role model too. You want your business to scale. You want your business to add value, to create value over time, to have a track record of success. Be consistent. It doesn't matter how hot the flames are. And by those hot flames, I mean how lucrative that fuel is. If you are not going to stick your life to it with the Esther mentality of I perish, like what I told myself, that if I'm going to fail, I want to fail doing what God asked me to do. I want to fail doing what I love doing this one thing that I've decided to entrust my life into doing. I even lost some relationships with people because they wanted me to just do anything to get by. Leave that thing you're doing. You're wasting your time. You're wasting your youth. What is this? What's this? But then, now, I'm paying my bills and I'm living Gucci fabulous. I can move myself from one place to another. I can extend a hand of help to other people. I help people. Yeah. Is that bragging? Well, maybe a little bit, but then it is what it is. I have not mentioned their name, so it's all good. So I help people. I'm able to serve God with my money too. I am able to give to God. I'm able to sponsor Rhapsody of Realities. I'm able to do a lot of other things. From my art, they are not the ones giving me the money. You get the point. So it's worth it. And now that I'm even seeing some Jews coming, I want to commit to it even the more. So you need the Esther mentality. You need, and I'm not saying that doing something dumb over and over. I'm saying that even when you do it and fail, try to look for other ways to do the same thing. Don't look for another job or another hustle or another thing. No, you would never be great by doing that, jumping from one place to another. No matter how hot the flames are, no matter how lucrative the business or the venture is, if you're not going to stick your guts and stick your life to it, you would never reap the benefits out of it. And now, the second thing that I quoted from Will Smith, he said, I do not have a plan B because my plan B is going to distract me from my plan A. Never forget that. You need to stick your neck to this thing, because the truth of the matter is that when you zoom in, when you zoom into that business, you're going to see a lot of other chains of businesses that are within that business, that if you are just very superficial about or passive about the whole thing, you would never see those business opportunities. There are many business opportunities around just that one thing that you think you're doing now. But until you commit yourself to doing it, you will never be able to zoom in those pixels for graphic designers to know exactly the different pixels that make that one picture. And every pixel in your vision is a potential business on its own. And it's so big and so great. Bruce Lee said, I am not afraid of the man that has mastered 10,000 kicks. I am afraid of the man that has mastered one kick 10,000 times, because when he hits you once, you only finish. Yes, your story has ended. And then I'll wrap up with Genesis 49, verse 4a. Unstable as water, you will not excel. I want you to starve your desire for immediate gratification. Starve it. Commit yourself to building your dream. Commit yourself to building your business. Look for new ways to do it differently, but doing the same thing. Look for new ways to scale. Attend seminars like this. Attend conferences. What can I do differently? What can I do differently? How do I reroute, take a different route, but leading to the same destination? If you did this thing and it did not work, it's okay. What our goal here is for it to work. So there could be another way to make it work. Look for that way and make it work. Jumping from one business or one idea to another just to make ends meet is a poverty mentality, and it's the reason why Africa is backward. It is the reason why all the youth in Cameroon are blaming the government. Well, the government should be blamed at a political level, but then for how long would you blame them? It's the reason why we have created a society of dependent youths, and we need to leave that mentality. We need to be able to commit ourselves to the businesses that we are building. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you very much, sir, for that amazing lightning session. It came with power from Tonkorong. Like I said, some sacrifices have been made from the Lord. Thank you so much, sir, for the amazing session. And just to pick, for everything that you've said when it comes to consistency, you can just put them in three aspects. Like you can say that consistency is about your attitude, consistency is discipline, consistency is not about speed, but it's about regularity and pace. You need to keep at it. So every point he has said here today, like it all comes down to this aspect. And if you're not already following Jloaded, that is his Facebook account. You should follow him on social media. He's not just a comedian, and he's not also a motivational speaker, but he is loaded, like the name says, Jloaded. He is loaded with amazing inspiration to help you, not to motivate you and tell you to start. I started my business with 200 francs. No, but to motivate you, to motivate you the right way, using the right words and all of that. So that is his Facebook account. The name is the same on Instagram. Follow him, link with him up. He's going to help you and talk about so many things. Now, like you made mention of this particular line that says that, yeah, we admire the Facebook, the Google, the Bill Gates and all of the rest, but they are not our mates. I mean, think about it. You are tempted to feel like, when I started, you quite know the story. Payfree technology never existed.
Actually, yeah.
Payfree technology never existed. It was all Jekalua, and I stayed with Jekalua from 2017, and Payfree came into existence in 2019. I mean, that was a long stretch. But if I wasn't focused and persistent and consistent on Payfree, on Jekalua, I wouldn't have gotten to Payfree, and Payfree wouldn't have been in existence today. And the same thing with Wealth Nation. I remember when we were having the meeting in a small room, at Moliko there, but now we are able to sit down and we are having meetings and talking with people like St. Clair and all the rest. It's consistency, it's discipline, putting yourself. Remember this, Google never started. I want to just take an example to show you Google. This is Google in December, 2nd of December, 1998, right? This is like Google launched, let's say about 5 years after I was born. This is Google. Think about it. This is Google.
My God.
This is Google back then. So it's not about admiring somebody and you looking for a fast route, getting there. How many years? This is 1998. And we are talking about Google in 2021. And you want to say, I want to be like Google. And you're forgetting the years that Google took to be where they are right now. I mean, Google is a $2 trillion company. But the web page I'm showing you right now wasn't what $2 trillion company at that time. It was just Google. And in 2020, they even offered to sell Google to Yahoo for $1 billion. And Yahoo said, no, I'm not interested. But think about it. 21 years, let's say like 20 years later, Yahoo combined together, even if they sell the employees and join them together, the total money they will recover is not able to match up to what we have now as Google. Think about it.
Absolutely.
It's now a giant company. Facebook, on the other hand, started in the university, Cambridge. I mean, Zuckerberg literally hacked his classmates' email just to spam them with their idea. But now he has a community of over 2 billion accounts or users. Think about it. It's a process. It's a process, and that process was there because despite all the lawsuits, I don't know if you've ever gone to search. Just try and search. Facebook makes a lot of money, like 7 billion profit last year. That's how much they made as profit after doing everything. But let me tell you this. These guys, they go through lawsuits that are not, lawsuits that are, you hear a lawsuit, like Google paid a lawsuit last year of $100 million. And that is a lawsuit Google paid. So despite all these challenges, because the CEO of Google would have said, let's just pay this stuff and then pack our bags and go home. That would mean there is no consistency. Apple, the Dangote, they all pay. Think about it. When Dangote came to Cameroon to launch his cement company, do you know how much the Cameroon government taxed him? But because he knew what he wanted to do, he was persistent and consistent at it. What did he do? He paid the money and they finally gave him the authorization. Do you know how much money he's making now right now? That's the whole point. When you're able to withstand the challenges, not thinking about, man, he's my brother personally. I mean, we've been times where we could just get someone to hire us and then so that we can just have food to eat. It's a stressful time. But think about it, like he made mention of his comedy career. Somebody might say, like he said that he's bragging, but it's not. It's just like when I tell someone that I charge $1,000 for a 4-page website and the clients pay. They pay and they are begging me, telling me that, Alan, I know this money is not enough for you, but it's okay. Just do it. And a 4-page website is something I do in a day and I'm done. In a day, I have $1,000. I wasn't able to get this, but I was consistent. I had to delay gratification, and now Payfree technology is existing. Payfree technology is existing, and we are hiring people. Like currently, we have a team, and we are looking to hire 2 more guys. I mean, I just recently hired a CEO. I mean, just think about it. So it's all about consistent. You have to be consistent. You have to be persistent about everything that you're doing, because a lot of people are counting on you. Think about it. If you open up a shop or a store, and because somebody didn't come to buy today and somebody didn't come to buy tomorrow, you close up your shop and go back to your village. Next week, people will come looking for you because they came the other week and they saw you there, but you're not there anymore. You've packed and gone. Meanwhile, they were coming to look for you. So thank you so very much, sir, for what you've shared with us today. Like this message from Lombard Freedom. That is the same amount of feeling that I have. Consistency mentality has really been boosted, and we have a commitment. Like you said, even the Bible backs what you said. It says that you will lend to nations. So how would you be able to lend to nations if you're dependent on the nations? It means the reverse is true. The nations are lending to you. So when are you going to pay back? So
I know, right?
So thank you very much, and I've been so excited. Like one of the comments that was cited here, most of the speakers in this event that are really making bursts in most industries, these people are Christians, and that's just to tell you that there is no limitation in being a Christian. That the lies that you used to hear that if you're a Christian, you're just one guy that the devil is tormenting and your job is to be praying in the room is rubbish. I don't know who told you that, but it is rubbish. So, so
We're not buying that.
so that is really what you are and what you can be. But like he said, you have to be consistent. I have a brother, he knows the brother, I'm not going to mention his name. He said, "Hey Alan, I'm just about doing anything. And every single year, every single day, we look at him and we're not seeing, honestly, we're not seeing any value. Like we are not really seeing, we're not seeing tangible value that you're providing, because your focus is just money. If today is toothpaste business that is working, you start hawking. If it is Fufu and Eru, like Jelode made a skit about Fufu and Eru, you think now that is an advert skit, you start Fufu and Eru business. So consistency is really something that we should focus on, career-wise, business-wise. It's really something that you have to implement in your life. Don't just say, I'm consistent in reading and passing my GCE. Trust me, passing your GCE doesn't contribute anything to Cameroon. When you pass your GCE, it contributes nothing to the government. It contributes nothing to the community. What is the point of having people with degrees and all of this that they don't put in anything in the community? And if you're really thinking of doing history, I don't think saying that if you're doing history is I don't think you should apologize for them. It means that they missed the session of yesterday that spoke about sustainability. Even the UN itself says that the things that we have to focus on for sustainable communities and cities, history is not part of them. I'm sorry, but it's the truth. So if you're doing history, please don't be consistent at it. Drop it and get something else.
Yes, please.
Don't be consistent in history. Get something else and be consistent in art. And like I said, Jelode is someone, when he gave me the topic, I said, you are the person for this topic, because if you go check on his Facebook handle, please scroll down. You can even go to his profile, scroll down. When you scroll down, you will see what we call a timeline of consistency. A timeline. You would have a timeline of consistency. That is why he was someone who was the right person for this topic, and he has really shared a lot. And we want to thank you so much, sir, for joining us. We would just want to let you go and have your busy day. We love having you, so you can log out and bye-bye. So thank you guys so much for joining the session for today. From the comments, I really know that you guys have enjoyed the session for today. You can share the video with your friends. You can share, because it's through these videos that they would be able to learn all the things that you have learned so far. And if you want to stay updated with us, you can do that by following us on Instagram. Name or the username is Payfree Technology or Payfree Tech. If you search Payfree Technology, you're going to see our beautiful logo that shows the pathway that we're leading and stuff like that. So thank you so very much for that. You can follow us with that same handle on Twitter, on Facebook, and on Instagram. You know, we mostly flash Instagram handles because people are always consistent, or people always visit Instagram. So that's why we always show it. But so far so good. Thank you guys so much for that. And we have another session today in the evening at 7 p.m. with another speaker. He'll be talking about personal development, you know, how you can develop yourself personally in order to achieve your career. We've spoken about career planning. We've spoken consistency just now, bootstrapping, skills for sustainable communities. And we have this speaker that is going to be talking to us in the evening about personal development. What are the things that you should do? What are the skills that you should really take on yourself? We even spoke about mental health. So I really want to appreciate you thus far for being with us till the end. If you're just joining or you're watching a replay, please comment and let us know where you're watching from. If you're live right now, you can comment and also let us know where you're watching from. We love to connect with you, so we would love to see you. Send us a message maybe on Instagram or on Facebook, and you can also visit our website and www.pathwaytechnologies.com. We would love to hear from you because we would love to help you get to where you want to get to. And that is why we always share in the details of the speakers so that you can connect with them. Remember, consistency is key, and it has to do with 1, your attitude. 2, you have to discipline yourself that this is what I'm going to do and this is where my focus is going to be. 3, it's not about speed, but it's about regularity and pace. You need to keep at it. Let people not come there and don't see you. Be there. You can say show up. You have to be there. It doesn't matter, but you have to be there. Show up when you say you have to show up. If you say your open hours is at 9 to 4, be there. It doesn't matter if the customers are there or they are not there, but just be there. Show up. Now, let your vision itself, let that thing that you're trying to do, your career or your business, let it know that this person, Alan, I'm sold out to it, right? And even the force of nature, God, they'll back you. I mean, I can't work with anything if I don't have anything to work with. So you're not showing up. It's like this analogy that was said, I heard it somewhere, it's weird. That imagine that you don't come to church on a particular day because you said you should excuse yourself for that day, and it's on that day that God is about to answer your prayers, and the angel who carries the prayer comes to give you your answer, and they don't find you in church. You see, they'll go back with their answer, and you won't have answers to prayers. But I understand what they're trying to say, but that is not really how it happens, like in Christianity, because God is not restricted by where you are, or neither is the angel. So wherever you are, your answer, your prayer will still be answered, and the angel will locate you. It doesn't matter for that. But what they are trying to just say is be consistent. Show up when you're supposed to show up. Be there. Let someone come and see you there. People shouldn't come and don't have you or don't see you. So thank you so much. Thank you so much. We just have a comment right now that I would just love to flash. Lumata Vane. So I just get Van. So it is how will you be lending to nation when nations are lending to you for me? Yes. So thank you very much for reiterating that comment. Yeah, it's actually true. How can you be lending to nations when the nations are lending to you? When the Bible says that we should lend to nations, right? We should give to nations, right? We'll be lending to nations, or we should give to nations. But you're always there crying, the government should do this, the government should do that. How would you be lending to nations when nations are lending to you? Doesn't make sense. You will never be able to pay back because of the mentality that you have. So create something out of yourself, career-wise, business-wise, and stick at it. Stay on that arena, and make sure that you show up. If you say you work 5 days a week, work 5 days a week. Every single day, be there. It doesn't matter if you have a project or if you don't have a project. Just be there. Let them come and see you. Let them come there and see you, because the day that you might not show up is the day that someone might come and don't see you, and they consider that you're unserious. But if every day they are going by, they are seeing you every single day, you're sitting there, you're doing what you're doing. Like Pastor Chris said, you must not have a job before you start working. You can practice working. So just practice building a website. You can just be looking at some websites online and be programming. You can practice to be an accountant. You don't actually need to have real figures, but you can just create an imaginary person that you work for and just be there, and you've started your accounting firm. You can just create an imaginary brand if you're a digital agency, but most of these things are very easy. If you're an accountant and you want to develop a skill on towards that, or an agency, start with yourself. You have finances, manage them, so that when you have a client, you can show them that, sir, this is my project. I manage my personal finances, right? That is it. Same thing with marketing agency. You have a social media account, grow it, so that you would have a project to show if in case a client comes and is asking you for projects. So you have to discipline yourself. You need to have the right attitude. Then you have to know that it's not about the speed, but it's about the regularity and pace. You need to be there. Thank you guys so very much. Hallelujah. It was nice talking. It was nice being with you guys today. It was nice having this session with you. Remember about the session, 7 p.m. We'll be talking about personal development. How do you develop yourself? How do you develop the skills you require for staying consistent, for that skill, for that career, for that job? And my name is Mbi Aramang Alen. I'm the CTO of Paveway Technology. It means I'm the Chief Technology Officer of Paveway Technology, and I am happy for Paveway Technology for letting us have this amazing program. We've had a lot of testimonies. You can write a comment, tell us about what you think about the program so far and what you've learned. Let's know what you've learned, like Elumba Freedom said. Let us also know what you learned and where you're watching from. If you're watching the replay, you can still hashtag replay for us. If you're watching live, you can hashtag live. Let's know who we're watching live, and let's know who we're watching the replay. And like I said, if you have any question, always do well to post, and we will take it to the speaker if the question was directed to him, or if it's a question we can answer, we would answer it for you. So thank you very much. I'll be seeing you guys in the evening at 7 p.m. Don't forget to follow us, Paveway Technology, on Instagram and on Facebook for all your questions regarding to technology and career development and sustainable business, building sustainable businesses or building sustainable careers. Don't forget to ask us those questions on any social media, be it Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. The username is the same, Paveway Tech, or you can just type Paveway Technology and you're going to see us with our beautiful logo. So thank you guys so much again once more for your amazing time. I would let you go right now. Bye bye. See you at 7.